The president predicting Republicans will do well in the House and very well in the Senate, but with stocks closing out this very ugly month, will that sway voters? I want to ask our panel, Washington Free Beacon's Liz Harrington, former Democratic Congressman Jason Altmaier, CME trader Bob Iaccino, and FBN's very own Christina Parts-Nevelis. Bob, you're on the floor. You get a feeling of what's going a great day. We gave back a couple of 100 points into the close. Is there a sense of relief there that perhaps could be shared with the rest of the country?
Yeah, good riddance to October, Charles. October is the month that has more volatility moves of 1% or more than any other month. Whatever the reason, you can argue about whether it's just memories of October '87, whatever it is, the midterms approaching. We've had several midterms since World War II that happened in November. Whatever it is, good riddance to October tends to calm investors a little bit when we're out of this month.
Liz, throughout the month, there was speculation. Was it anticipation of the Democrats winning both the House and the Senate, or the possibility of that pressured this market, or was the market going down, changing the dynamics of the midterm elections? How do you see it?
Well, I think the market volatility is important, but I think an even bigger indicator for elections is consumer confidence. And we have consumer confidence hitting an 18-year high just recently. And there's only been one time since the 1950s where consumer confidence was higher than it is right now before a midterm election. And that was in 1998 when Bill Clinton was president, Democrat, and the Democrats actually gained seats in the House. They gained 5 seats. And so I don't think the Republicans necessarily are going to gain seats in this election, but I think consumer confidence being as high as it is, you have some parallels to 1998 when, president in power, there were scandals going on, but guess what? The economy was booming, and it might be the economy stupid again.
Well, in your opinion, and using history as a tool for forecasting, do you believe then that the Republicans keep the House?
Sorry, Charles, are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be close, but I think they have a very good chance. There's no indication that there's going to be a wave election for the Democrats. It's just not there, and the economy's a huge issue for voters still.
Jason, another news item out today that I think might be even more important than consumer confidence. We learned in the last quarter, wages and salaries up 3.1%. That has not happened in our country in over a decade. People are starting to put money in their pockets. How important is that heading into next Tuesday?
Charles, I think everything that's happening in the economy is important all across America, Republican or Democrat. But I don't think that most Democrats are going to go to the polls thinking about the economy. The Democrats in this country are frustrated with the president's behavior, with his rhetoric, with many of his policies. And I think contrary to what has happened in the past, usually if the economy is humming along, the incumbent president would do very well. I just don't think that's going to be the case in the House this time. I think the Democrats will do very well and retake the House. In the Senate, it's a different story because those are statewide voters. There's different issues at play. And I think the Republicans will probably hold or maybe even pick up a seat or two in the Senate. But I don't see any way that the Republicans are going to keep the House.
Christina?
If I were to add to that, I think if anything, you're seeing investors pricing in a possible split Congress with the Dems taking over the House and Republicans taking over the Senate. So right now, you saw a lot of volatility for the month of October. That has to do a little bit with political instability, but we got to talk about the bigger picture. You have rising interest rates. You just mentioned wage growth. We had wage growth numbers come out 3.9% for the month ending in September. That's great news. 2.9%, sorry. So we're seeing it much stronger. But that could mean inflation. If inflation continues, you have the Federal Reserve that's going to increase interest rates, keep that on track. The Federal Reserve obviously wants to remain apolitical as well and not seem like it's being influenced by the president. So I think going forward, there's a lot of concern in the market about global growth, overvalued stocks, and the increase in interest rates. And don't forget trade.
We won't. And by the way, folks, those bells are coming from the CME, right? The market is closed down there. And that's how whenever they count their money, that's what Bob and the fellows do. They ring the bell. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.